Yo, 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 what is good, chat? What is good? It's your boy, Fanya Bear, aka Natty, aka that nigga, and we are back on stream. And this stream was supposed to happen on Sunday, but it did not for a variety of reasons. But yeah, let's get into that. Actually, let's get into really why it didn't happen on Sunday, because I wanted to really be transparent with y'all today. So let me just bring this guy down. Okay. So, for those who didn't know, or are new here, welcome. And for those who aren't new here, welcome back. Today, or tonight, this evening, this morning, it's 1 a.m. It's technically Wednesday, but it was Tuesday. I'm finally doing this week pre-cap and recap, which a week pre-cap and recap, all that is literally what it sounds like, where I take what I initially had planned for the week previous and see what I did, and then the week up and coming up, see what, we want to prepare. And I can already I can already confidently tell you what the result's going to be, which is it's going to be just, you know what I mean? And when I say it's really, I don't even know how to really verbalize it accurately and eloquently, but just simply put, I've been in my head. I've been allowing the voices, and not multiple bipolar disorder voices. I'm talking about the conscious voices when you talk to yourself in your head, where you're like, oh, should I have done this? Should I have done that? When you overthink or overanalyzing a situation, or just allowing analysis paralysis to take over to ultimately cripple you. And I don't know. Some things caught up with me overall this past week. And I got to spend some time with my mom this past Saturday, and it would seem that, at least from now speaking, compared to what I was feeling then and even the previous days, I just got hit with a bunch of grief, it seems. And usually whenever it comes to processing emotions or whatever, I either just let them happen, or I box it up and then give it a time to then let it all out, and then it's cool. But I guess this time around, it's just, I didn't really have a way of expressing that. Or this is, mind you, y'all, this is me trying to make sense of just being very unproductive actually. And just trying to figure out, why am I being unproductive? Why am I not getting things done? Why am I not achieving what I should be achieving? Or throw shit out the window. Why am I just not achieving? Or maybe am I achieving, but how am I not seeing it, you know? Just a lot of this, all these mix of feels, and then just feeling of inadequacy, and then, you know, God forbid I go on social media or some form of the internet and then see someone doing anything that I'm planning on doing it, but better and younger. Oof. But that's life at this point with the internet. If there's anything like being on the internet and being aware of the world at large and the globalization of our world at large, you know, there's always going to be somebody better at any given thing. Even being happier. Good Lord have mercy, there'll be somebody better at being happier than you, right? So yeah, just a lot of that happened. And I allowed it, my weak self, allowed it to get to me, which isn't, that is what it is. Even me just saying my weak self in and of itself is a part of the problem, because I would pride myself on not doing that, but here we are, 2 days late on what should have been a Sunday recap to set up the rest of our week for success, and now we're starting halfway through with just middling progress, to say the least. So, yeah, I wanted to change it, and then I got to have a conversation with my homegirl Kilo. Love you, Kilo. Kilo Tupash, the GOAT. And yeah, it just brought me down. I was just like, dude, when was the last time you did something for yourself? Mind y'all, I pride myself on being this mage creative, this music artist, gaming education dude, whatever, right? And I don't really listen to music unless it's music I'm working on and trying to perfect and or get better at, or like, you know, improve, right? Which is a problem in and of itself. But not a crazy problem. It's just the problem every creative deals with. But I have gotten good enough and capable enough to not have to do that anymore. But habits, right? Haven't really read manga at all outside of reading One Piece is like, y'all know, whenever a One Piece chapter comes out, your boy's ecstatic. It's like just shooting, well, I wouldn't know, but I would assume it to be synonymous with shooting heroin. But yeah, no, it's just like, I don't even read manga, manhwa. Like, I used to be into webtoons. I would be in some obscure stuff, bro. Granted, not like, okay, there was an error with what you could assume. Not the worst of what you could assume, but you get the idea. But, nah, man, just haven't done any of that. I've been drawing, but this has been my new drawing pad, because the other drawing pad that I had was stolen, which I don't know if I told y'all that on stream, by the way, like a week or two ago, or 2 to 3 weeks ago, I would want to say arbitrarily, which, by the way, this is all my fault, so it's, please, no pity, it's stupidity of myself. Anyway, you know, I left my car unlocked, and whenever I was visiting one of the homies to work on some stuff, and, you know, come back to the car, it's been rummaged through, the door's open, so I'm like, okay, someone got into my car, what to do? I don't have anything valuable there, or at least anything of value that they would take. Come to find out, deodorant's on the floor outside, because I stored a deodorant in my little thingy, because I always want to have one on the go, because, you know, your boy sweats. And then I go to look to the back, and I'm like, huh, where's my drawing pad? Where's my, you know, my tablet, which I had my drawing tablet in there too. Which it wasn't like a Wacom, like, you know, the screen is on the tablet. It's like one of those tablet, the pen, and then you look at the screen. So, not the craziest one. That was gone, and my drawing pad was gone. There was a bag of a lot of my clothes, by the way, there, because I was doing this whole thing with the gym, which I still am. It's just, this week the Brody's out, and I've been saving up to get a membership, so I'm just going to get a membership, so whenever he's gone, I can still go. Besides the point. When I noticed that the drawing pad and the drawing tablet was sold, that messed with me heavy, so I really haven't been drawing outside of drawing in this guy, which, I mean, I have been, you know. Let's see, what's a cool one? This is a fun one. A little fun one for y'all to see. Just some sketches, nothing to, hold on, bro, I can't even. Yeah, so this is one of those pages, you know. Fun pages, you're seeing some characters, some cool things. Now keep in mind, I am not, you know, I'm not particularly great at illustration. This is just 2 years of progress that you're looking at. And even then, from imagination, not too great. Really good to have reference. This was me trying to draw my hand horribly. Got a lot to work on with hands. Some of these were references from other people's drawings. And just me trying to interpret them. This one dude does One Piece content. Just an extension of that, Like, I'm still drawing. I'm still staying active. This is another one, fun one. Gotta love the flat ones. That's another cool one. Ooh, I was really happy with this one. Oh, there you go. I was happy with how this young lady turned out. Super dope, super cool. I stand, I like. And then this is my homie. This is me interpreting my homie's dog, Phaethon. We were just hanging out. He was laying down. I'm like, how can I make Phaethon look like a cool little evil dog? And then another one for y'all. You got the light. Just, dude. Heck it. There you go. So yeah, drastic improvement, I'd say, in terms of just being able to draw from imagination and just kind of knock some of these things out. Like even here, like we're slowly but surely getting into this like realism meets kind of like anime-esque bag, which I'm a fan of. I want to have both. I want to have the ability to do both. Obviously, I'm going to lean heavily into the stylized work. Trying to add more personality, just more dynamicism, if you will, into the art. Let's see. What else I know? So you can tell I have particular poses that I particularly enjoy. Like the side view, the 3/4 view. Pretty fun. But yes, I've been drawing, been doing things, but ultimately, I just haven't really been doing things for me. And I guess last week I was at a weak enough point and grief hit me too, which the grief is in relation to my grandma. My last grandparent from my mom's mom passed away top of this year. Really end of last year, but around the time. And so at the time, and this, it's happened with every death, honestly. This is how it happens with me, which is there's the initial hit, there's the information, I hear it, I process it, and then sometime months, weeks down the line, it registers, and then it breaks me, and then in waves after the fact, it just continues to break me, which it only makes sense that it is grief in the nature of which it is, and what that grief is just, it's not even grief for me, which is probably why it kind of hurts to some degree. Not even some degree, a huge degree. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. And normally I would run away from those feelings. But not anymore. Not anymore. And not even normally, because sometimes I do deal with those feelings, but there are things that I know I bogged down enough to where I try not to feel them. And that's not good. It's not great. I have to be full in order to fill, if I want to be able to fill and pour in others, I need to be full to a degree as well. Now, luckily, I believe in a God that can do that for me despite myself. And don't worry, y'all. No need to worry about me getting religious here. But my faith is a huge part of me, so I am going to talk about it whenever it's relevant. So yeah, I just knew that it was just, I talked to my homegirl. She gave me some context, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to take a full day off and just not really, just do whatever I need to do for me, which I went shopping today. There's a whole entire new closet in here, which, by the way, if y'all don't know, this is a closet. Took out a bunch of clothes from my closet. Got some new stuff. We went to H&M, and I'm trying to stick to my brand book in terms of what type of fashion I'm trying to go into, which I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff I got, even though it's nice and quality stuff, I'm definitely gonna feel like a Dallasite or a Dallasinian or a Dallas, whatever, a person that's from Dallas in the sense of like, I just feel like there's just a certain way people that go to H&M dress, but it is close enough and within price range of kind of like what type of aesthetic I've been trying to look into and style I've been trying to look into, just to step into my artistry more, just to enjoy how I look, feel great, all of those things. Which health has been helping with that a lot. I mean, even now shopping, which used to be annoying, now I'm like, dang, I could damn near fit a 33, which is crazy to me because I barely fit a 40 like 6 months ago. So now I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like in this 36, 34 range, which that means I can kind of comfortably shop in H&M. Kind of wild for me. Granted, I can still see like where the fat filters over, but like my body composition is very, very different. It's not like hard fat anymore. It's very loose fat. Which, once again, if it's loose fat and it's emulsifying, that means it's burning away. So, yeah, I've just been going through a lot, and so, I haven't really gotten to the stream at all. I have been playing Marvel Rivals off stream, but that's just because that's kind of like a calm down thing for me. But today I really wanted to tackle the week precap and recap. This time in a very practical way, because I really do feel I burden myself with a lot when I don't have to do as much and I can go just as far, just as well. And also, too, another issue I realized that I have is I have an income issue. I won't particularly go into all the details of my life because I don't feel I have to on, these platforms, but I do want to be a very transparent dude. This is not a house I personally own. This is my family home. This is my room within my family home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a traditional job. I work out of a studio, you know what I mean? And the studio is awesome. The studio's been cool. That's really my only thing, my only source of income, and it's sustenance. It's not typical sustenance, but it's sustenance nevertheless, and it's a very much aligned with my long-term goals, at least with what me and my team kind of want to do in our careers. So, in a lot of ways, I'm extremely blessed, but I always know and feel that we can do more and capable of more. And at times I feel I'm not living up to that, so there's a little discomfort there. But all the emotional life stuff aside, we're gonna do better. I'm going to do better, and it's not because it's a compensatory. It's like we're compensating for anything. But it's just because we know that emotions are real, we're a human, we feel things, and we have the luxury, at least the way our life is set up right now, to where we could take that, day to kind of recalibrate and do all that stuff, which I got to do today. Like I said, went shopping, just took the whole day, watched all of Daredevil, caught up. Whew, love this season. Yeah, I just did things for me, which is cool. But I want to get back on track and just lock in and at least finish this week really, really strong, which I know I can. I'm very capable of. But yeah, we're not gonna yap all of this stream. Well, we are, but we're gonna do it in what's it called? Let's see. So we have our goal right there. I should probably duplicate this guy. Copy. Paste, but then like rename this guy the music one. Hold up, I'm just moving the goal bar real quick because son of a gun, dude. Okay, paste the reference. Okay, so then delete this. Okay. Okay, see, so it changes both. I don't like that. Okay, so this goes I'm just gonna add browser, add existing, but then rename this one to M. Huh. Okay, so if I hide this one, all right, cool. Wait, hold up. Well, if I expand this one, okay, it won't expand that one. Great, that's literally all I care about. I don't want it to expand the other one. Okay, so we're gonna mute this guy, then move this guy down here. Just for cutesiness. Awesome. Alrighty. Now we're gonna go and get this guy, properties. Already know. Boom. Which, by the way, the instrumental that y'all were hearing earlier, it's my up-and-coming single, H-O-M-H, aka Hand Over My Heart. It's going to be my first single I drop, solo single, which I haven't dropped in a very long while, and I took down all my other music because I just wasn't proud of it. And if you can find it on the internet, it's yours to find and enjoy, because I did whatever I could to take it down. Alright, let's go to week pre-cap notes. Alrighty. And I put a point system in here. Totally not doing that. Alright, so last week, so we weren't able to stream at Bell's, but we did end up streaming at the crib. Edit episode 3 and chapter 145 chapter reaction. Did not do this. Working out with Blair, we were able to knock out, I think, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday we were not able to do. So, tough on that. Colorful Sound, we ended up not doing that. And then we did go to Digital University, got to reconnect with some of the Brodies, which was awesome. We did not stream Friday. We did not, I think we streamed Wednesday. I want to say I streamed Wednesday. Hold up, I can fact check that. We streamed the 9th and the 12th. So technically we didn't do Friday per se, but we did do the 9th, and I don't think we did the 10th, right? Yeah, we did not. Yeah, 8th, yeah, we did not do that. So we did not stick to this. We did make the loops, so luckily we're always keeping good on the loops. Focus on playing cleanly, not stopping. Yeah, we've been working on those. Did not work on these guys at all. Yeah, not really. Progress on the Thump videos. What's it called? Kind of got the first one locked in. Now we're working on the second one, the second transcription, which honestly, in tandem with this, I should also learn all the etudes, because I got this. We'll add it in the next. We'll actually add it in the next category. But we also have Manuel Gardner Fernandez. I don't even know how to say his name. Manuel Fernandez? No, I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't know. Maybe Garner? Manuel, guitarist. How about that? Let's see what the first... There you go. Gardner Fernandez. Okay, I wasn't too far off. Which, I mean... Yeah. Super dope. Oh, yeah, there's no website. Let me check it out real quick. It's like Netflix, but it's tabs. Interesting. So, home. This is his home tab. Unlimited tabs, $10 per month. Join now. Save 10% if you pay annually. Private members feed, unlimited tabs. Okay. Merchandise, flower. Recent videos. Okay. Top tracks. Assailant is a dope one. Join newsletter, USD. Instagram, TikTok, Discord, YouTube, and Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I'm not on TikTok at all, but, you know, well, not at all. I am on TikTok. Honestly, that's really dope. He has his own website that has his own tabs, and it's a monthly thing. Tabs and packs. Yeah. Free Britney. Merch, guitar. Okay, and guitar is a hyperlink to this other website that shows all the gear he has. Super dope. He's a roadcaster for his streaming stuff, I would assume, or unless that's his interface, in which case I respect it. No, this is his interface, the Apogee Symphony. Dope. Neural Quad, Neural DSP. Honestly, this seems to be the next thing I gotta get as far as like guitar stuff for me personally. But cool. And then Guitar Book, which this is the one we have right here. So this is the one we have. Guitar Vivo presents modern electric guitar technique. Unlock technical mastery with 10 cutting-edge solo etudes, which I will say, these etudes, because I know one of them pretty decently. Actually, I know two of them pretty decently. They challenge you. I'm actually considering making a YouTube series off of just the thump and this guy, which you know what? That might actually be a main channel video, which is, hey, I'm taking a week to see if I can learn all these ideas or these, etudes in a week. Honestly, that's a week worthy goal. Just like going on stream and recording myself learning this, and then compiling all that footage together into a YouTube video. See, that's a content piece right there, TVH. Anyways, I don't know. I'm debating on if that'd be Greenhouse one or mine, but it's a good idea nevertheless. But yes, this is said video that I was referring to. Okay, now real quick, I got a potty. So and we're back. So yeah, as y'all can see, this video, that I'm gonna add also to the guitar workload, which honestly, okay, here's the thing. I want to put like the music in the background, but the problem is I'll get distracted if the music's in the background, which kind of sucks, right? So just bear with my voice in the silence / white noise of my room. But yeah, look at new records to work on from Brandon Says, which I have looked at it. I have listened to it. I have a couple ideas of how I want to approach it. Now, finished tracking vocals. I did not get to do this at all. Find performance vox for Drugs and Fugazi. I have found these guys. I have not exported and sent them to Bogus yet. And I have not found the stems for Cowboy. This song might actually be the death of me, but we'll get there when we get there. Draw something that made me cry. Haven't gone there yet, but the day will come. We did not accomplish this at all. Didn't do any gesture studies. Now, I will say, as y'all saw, I've been doing hand studies and we're doing more lower body stuff, especially by watching Chabong's videos. But, yeah, I did not get to do this. Background studies, that's this week. Still kind of behind on that. Let's see what else. And let's see, what day is today, too, so that way I know what we're starting on for this week's pre-cap. It is the 16th. Today's the week of the 16th. This is what we would call this week. I haven't streamed any of these guys. I did not do that. I think I streamed Marvel Rivals, actually. Let's see. We did loop making and Marvel Rivals. That's literally it. Which, to be fair, Marvel Rivals, it's a new season. It's season 2. And on top of that, it's actually... I'm not going to lie. Marvel Rivals is a very fun game for a guy like me. It just is. Now, we are getting a new One Piece chapter this week, so I'm excited for that. And, dude, I've kind of avoided education, you know? Like, Greenhouse specifically. I've just been neglecting all of this. And, you know, total points, kind of wild to even really kind of say. So, yeah, overall, not the best week. I did not end it strong. I didn't really accomplish anything last week. But I'm not going to necessarily kill myself over it. Probably should, but I won't. Because there are better things to do with our time. But here is what I am going to do. So we're going to transfer all the music stuff over. Because we're going to start with music. We're not going to start with the week goals. We're going to start with music. I got till Sunday, essentially, to submit these loops. Get them done. I've already been working on Fluffy and Playing My God, but I got to work on these boys, and then what we're adding on top of all this is learn all 10 etudes by Manuel Lerner. Cool. And right now, Etude 1 and Etude 3, I want to say. Down. I think I have 2 out of the 10. Which is cool. 2 out of the 10 so far is not too bad. And then first lick Dunzo. And that was like as of this past week, so I'll say April 6th week. And then, let's see, E2, I mean, I kind of had them down since last year, so we'll just say as of April 6th week. As of, and then as of. Cool. Look at a new record from Brandon Size. I have. And really, it's up to... I'm going to probably follow up with a text with him to just figure out kind of where he sees me going with that. I have to finish tracking vocals for these 2 records. I have to. I need to. Like, literally, the instrumental and all that other stuff is going to be so easy. And Bogus has a show coming up on the 26th, which he also asked me to perform. In prep for show, which I think it's on the 26th. So, yeah, we'll try it. Luckily, I already got these boys. Just got to send them. Now, art goals. So, instead of... Here's the thing. Drawing something that makes me want to cry. I feel like that's something I understand, and I don't have to have it in front of me, y'all, if I'm being transparent. I kind of wanted to put that there because, like, hey, this is something that's a goal for me. and I kind of want to have a moment where I'm not highlighting in red but highlighting it green. Is that worth? I guess. I guess. Like I don't think it's crazy either way, but I'm gonna transfer this over here. All right, and we're not gonna keep up with that point system thing, by the way. All right, none, and then we're not gonna study hands and bodies this week. Literally, it's either going to be 60 1-minute gestures or background studies. I have a habit of doodling, and if I doodle for the feel's sake, cool. These are the art goals for the week. These are the music goals for the week. Touching on each one of these, which I've already done 2 out of these guys, which, to be honest with you, I think I'm going to take McGee out. Now, here's the reason why. It's not that I don't like McGee. I actually relatively enjoy his stuff. But I realize the only reason why I even care for it is because people care for it. That's kind of weird to me. As an artist, I should care for it because I find something that resonates with me or that it moves me, which I will say, Candy, that record moves me. It's catchy as fuck. It's a really great record. Phenomenal record, actually. And to some degree, also, too, it's like I don't really have a drive to learn it. Now, I put it on there because I was like, I guess I should know this because it's like a new song. And people are like, oh, you're a guitarist. Are you good? Can you play this arbitrary song that everyone knows that makes me feel good so that you can show me that you're a capable musician? Because if not, then why are you a musician if you can't play this record that I think is cool even though you might not like it? You know what I mean? Which, to be honest, if you're a capable musician, you should be able to play virtually any other record that you hear, at least in my opinion, right? It's like you hear it, make it. That makes you awesome. But no, I feel like that's going to rob me of a lot of joy in my life doing that. So, Gravity by John Mayer, to me, is a must. Like, learning that song is actually a spiritual journey for me. So, in the sense that I've known it a very long time, quite well, actually, in the sense of, like, I can sing to it, but actually knowing it theoretically and studying it, its grooves, improving in it, and then being able to reinterpret it in my own way. And when I say reinterpret it, just add stylistic nuances to what already is this song that sound pleasing. Which, can I do that to Fluffy and Playing God? Kinda no, but it's mostly because the dudes that wrote on it were just like, yeah, we kind of went ham already. Like, not really much else to really add on it, but obviously as an artist, there's, in theory, always more, right? Anyway, so Gravity is the one I really want to get under my fingers. The other 2, so it's like we got 3 songs that I really want to like know and understand. And I think another reason why I really want to know and understand those songs in particular is because I want them to be a part of the lifeblood of how I play. Like when people hear my playing, I want them to think Tron. I want them to think Playing God. I want them to think Gravity. Like, these are the pillars of my sound as a guitarist, if you will. Which, I mean, if I really wanted to throw a song on here that I actually would love to play, just know. Let's see. 3 Days Grace. Oh, actually, a Breaking Benjamin. What's that one Breaking Benjamin song? I Will Not Bow. I will not bow, I will not break, I will shut the world away. I will not fall, I will not think, I will take it rain, but and I'll survive paranoid. I think that's the second half. I have lost my will to change, and I will not bow to cold-blooded fate. I will shut the world away. Cool ass song, bro. And it's like one of those songs, like, it's a shredding solo, but it's not like a Playing God or a Fluffy where they're just like, no, it's like a song with that in there. Which, to be fair, these boys have, like, there is a, what's it called? Fluffy has a song with, what's his face? Snot, I think it is. I want to say it's Snot. Is it what Snot? Not Snot, Scott. I want to say it's Chimera. No, it actually might not be Chimera. It's one off that new album for sure. It's like, is it Lil Wes? Shit, I thought it was Snot. Yeah.
Good girl in a costume. It's your world when I'm with you.
This shit.
Forever with you like a
Man,
tattoo.
too.
I paint a picture in the
Like a bad
bedroom.
mood.
She feel the breeze like a pair of shoes. I got cheese, get a pair of shoes. Big body need a lot of room. She keep calling when I'm never home. I'll be with you, need low key on the east. I can see everything that you went through. I'll be your tool like a fix you. Even if I lose, it be nothing new. She gon' lose to the whole. It's my fault, I make it soon. I make it rain like a soon. My new baby comes soon. The best side was the best ride. She said that she really wanna come out to the west side. If she coming with me, she can hit me with her best side. She can be my missus, give me kisses on her best side. Low key with me in the night. You want me, hold me, I'm a low life. You know me 'cause I'm on the rise.
So dope. So dope. So dope, dude. Oh, man. But anyway, where was I? Yeah. So, I Will Not Bow. Honestly, these are two very learnable songs. Especially I Will Not Bow. And since you already got like the first lick down, I mean, why? First of all, why did I put 8? Because that was for last week. So, yeah. We're going to change this to green once I send it to Bogus. But right now, this is our goals for art. And then with the gaming, so we have our Let's Play series, which as of right now, we have The Road to KH4, Kingdom Hearts 1, and 12 episodes recorded for Final Fantasy 16. I need to edit Final Fantasy 16. I need to continue that playthrough. It needs to happen. No questions asked, Natty. I'm talking to you, Natty. I'm not talking to the camera. I'm talking to you, Natty. Figure it out. You got this. You're amazing. You're awesome. You're beautiful. You're loved. And you are a lovely person. But you can't just be putting shit off, especially when you know you got to get it done. Please, brother. You can do it. Pace yourself. You're doing great. Love you. Anyway, self-talk out of there. Education. Alright. Yes, I can brainstorm 2 new video script ideas. I don't think that's important right now. What I think is more important, because we just got done with headshots for the team, and right now I need to rework the greenhouse pitch deck. I've been saying this for 5 ever. I was able to get on a call with Kilo and talk about it and just tell her where my head's at. And now that I have the headshots, or at least, you know, Jupiter's going to be editing the headshots, which I need to send him my... I need to just get on that. So, Wednesday, even though I know tomorrow we have an artist coming through, Rios, I think it is. Outside of that, I really need to lock in on that pitch deck when I get back. So what I'm probably going to do is whenever I get there at the studio, first thing first, just going to get to that back room, just lock in on the pitch deck and really just iron out some kinks, figure some things out, and really go from there. Because I want to be able to figure out a way to just start getting people in, you know what I mean? Get people interested in what we do at Greenhouse and how we go about things. And maybe it's not the pitch deck. Maybe it's just focusing on the website and the offerings. Maybe it's as simple as that. But to me, the pitch deck is the offering or showing of offerings. So there's just a lot I got to process there. Yeah, I might even need to reach out to some people. I might also have to even rehearse with it too. So yeah, just right now, the goal should be, how do I find a way to get our course out of pre-production and into production? And then from there, defining just what it is, the website, and how the flow is going to be. So yeah, it's not a lot. And even with gaming, right? Because streaming in general, just things I can stream, right? Because I love limiting myself in this sense. I gotta put a date on it. But I do want to edit my One Piece chapter 1145 reaction. It's not going to be particularly great. It's going to go on my Fanyabear channel. And another thing too, actually, I think I'm going to implement that starting this week. So right now, whenever I get done with these streams, what ends up usually happening is if I want to make it a video, like let's say I want to like clip it up or do some things with it, like what I'm trying to do with the One Piece reaction, which I've attempted a couple times and have stopped because I was very dissatisfied with just myself and my ability to communicate with the camera, look at the camera in the face while talking, because my eyes would be all over the freaking place. My voice wouldn't project, or the audio wouldn't like record well. Like even now, like I know the mic's not muted or anything, but there's just this something in the back of my mind where it's like, hey, nigga, don't fuck up. So, anyways. Say all that to say, I'm going to be posting what is normally VODs that disappear on Twitch onto a second channel called Fanyabear Plays. So Fanyabear is going to be where I put the edited content, clipped up content even. I don't plan on putting clips on Fanyabear Plays. I purely want Fanyabear Plays to be for people that don't go on Twitch to also have access to those Twitch VODs. They're going to be unedited. They're probably going to be a little bit out of sync, because I haven't figured out a way to really get all this stuff perfect and as great as it can be, because I'm just one man really trying to figure it out and have a good grasp on it in the sense of what the thing is that I'm working on. But the nuances and technicalities, I'm always learning something new with everything that I'm doing in music and art and gaming and education. There's really so much to learn and so many nuances to be aware of, paradigms of thought to be aware of, just ways to think. You know what I mean? So, just bear with me. But yeah, not much has changed from what has happened from the previous week, but here's the cool news. For this week of April 16, there was a show this upcoming weekend. There will not be. I already mentioned today we have that guy Rios coming in. I'm not going to put it on here because whether it happens or not, it's honestly okay. It really is. However, Thursday, April 17, I have a meeting with Montel, like around 7 or 8 p.m. Remember that name, Montel. Words really can't describe how proud I am of this dude. Like, when I first met him to where he's at now, I mean just, you know, I'm not gonna just give just a bunch of glaze for someone y'all don't even really know who I'm talking about just yet, but please, 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 the name Montel, be aware of it. I will talk about him moving forward. I'll be sharing a lot of music I have with him moving forward. But more importantly, just an artist and a creative to keep an eye out for. And me and him are just going to link up this upcoming, what's this? Technically it'll be a Thursday, some point this Thursday. So that's going to be dope. And then April 18, I believe that evening, probably like 7 till 10, knowing just the team, be a household session / meeting or live. Just because this past Monday, me and CJ were predominantly working on chords and stuff for live. Not too long, but just enough to kind of get a vibe of what we're doing. Because that's just the next focus for household. And now that I know that the boy Bugs is, I'm going to play guitar for the boy Bugs. He hit me up today about doing guitar for the show with him for one of the songs. So that's going to be interesting. Exciting. I mean, nothing I'm too fearful of or scared of or anything like that. But and then I guess this Saturday, which if the 18th is a Friday, the 19th will be a Saturday, I will be hanging out with my Brody, Tito. He's in town. He's celebrating his sister's birthdays as well as just hanging out. So April 19th, we'll be hanging out with the boy. And let's see. I'm not gonna lie with y'all. Kind of been out of the loop with working out. So what I can do in the meantime, until I get the gym membership by end of this week kind of thing, I'm just gonna try my best to do push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. So I'm not gonna write it down because I'm gonna hate myself whether I do it or don't, and no need to hate myself any more than I would foreseeably do. So I'm just gonna do that. We're just gonna do that. We're just gonna make it a daily attempt. So far, the diet has been solid. But yeah, we're gonna try that. Let's see here. Now, so for the week, these are just the other things that we got going on. Music-wise, I'm very confident we'll be able to knock out the loose stuff. Guitar stuff, we're constantly working towards it. Finish tracking vocals. Okay, this is going to be a tricky one, guys, because I tried tracking on the SM7B, and I realized that, because I initially tracked the pre-production vocals on a really good mic, actually. It's the Warm Audio 8000, which is like their CS800 clone. And then obviously going back to the SM7B, it's a drastic difference. Huge difference, actually. To the point to where I only want that CS800 mic, but the problem is I'm broke. And not just that I'm broke. I'm not putting myself in a position for success. I'm not. I'm really not. So, what I'm thinking, because on the music docket, I got loops, I got to work on my guitar, I got to finish tracking vocals, I got to send me stems to Bogus. This is not time consuming, it is just a matter of me focusing on it. So I need to focus on this so the boy's good for a show. I can't be hoeing him. I hoe him way too much for how much I love him and how close he is to me. Yeah. Anyway, with this, if I stream any of these, that's a luxury. I should be focusing on this. This is priority. So with gaming, you guys are probably not going to see me stream gaming for a while because I'm going to be freaking editing because I need to edit. I have to edit until I get an editor I can pay. I have to get on it. So, for what it's worth. And then on the education side, I gotta look at that pitch deck. I just gotta figure out what the value offering is, which I know what the value offering is, but I gotta put it in such a way to where people would want to invest in it. Someone would really want to take part in it and, feel moved, compelled to share. Yeah, truly. And what was that other thing I was going to add? Yes. So a part of music is my engineering work. So there's a couple things I need to do actually with this. So create lead generation model for acquiring, mixing, and mastering clientele. Initial thought: how many asks before a sale? IG, DMs, artist management, emails, A&R emails, and etc. So I need to create a lead generation model for acquiring, mixing, and mastering clientele. Remember what I said, y'all. Outside of the studio job, I really don't make any money. And because of that, that means I have to find ways to put food on my table, find ways to have to hunt. I used to do door-to-door sales. And back in those days, I was very, 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 very bad at being transparent and open, which made my sales process very difficult. And anytime I would sell, it was because the person I was talking to was human enough to allow me to just talk to them as a human being, as opposed to when the people wasn't and the people weren't, I wasn't able to have a process that was consistent enough that would let me still get to the point to make sure that they were going to buy the product I have for them because it, in theory, was beneficial for them. Which, to be fair, the number one rule in sales, in my opinion, sell yourself on the product or service. I was not sold on the product or service at all. I was the last person who would buy it because I could care less about it. And just for y'all to know, I was selling smart home security. So you can imagine someone like myself who, well, you probably can't imagine, but just so y'all know, I'm a foolish child in my belief of my safety. In the sense that if I believe that God is going to take care of me, I believe God is going to take care of me. Irregardless of what you might think and what I might think. And it's a very childish thought. It's a very stupid thought if you really think about it. It's quite foolish. It's quite dumb. Because it takes away the agency of oneself to take care of themselves and put it all on an external being that you may or may not know exists, but you believe exists, and therefore just have faith that everything will be fine. Which is the faith I truly believe in, because you have to. Jesus was very clear. None will enter the kingdom of heaven unless you think like if you are like one of these children. Which there's a lot of ways you can take that, but I think the point he was getting at was just the nature of a child. The mindset of a child, where it's wonder. The world is new to you. You haven't built a preconceived notion of how things are. You just go. You are limitless. You are unbound by what is. And when you are bound, you get frustrated and you express yourself. You know? It's very interesting. Interesting thought. Anyway, back to the whole lead generation and all that stuff. I want to be able to go hunt for my food again. I want to get that feeling back. The ability to know that I don't need anybody else, but my ability to add value to other people's lives. So, I need to figure out a lead generation model for acquiring, mixing, and mastering clientele. I already have a good idea of how I'm going to approach this, which is we're going to go through some Alex Hormozi content. I already have a book from Sabri Subi. He does like Kong marketing out of Australia, New Zealand or Australia. I forget one of the two. Point is, he's a genius. And I have his book on building a pipeline and building a community and finding those customers and marketing to them directly and like learning their pain points and all this stuff. He has great tools. I haven't used them properly. I'm going to use them properly. So another goal for the music side is to create a lead generation model for acquiring, mixing, mastering clientele. The initial thought, how many ask before I sell? And to me, it's the idea of whenever I was on the doors, I had this tracking system to where essentially I would, I would have like a calculator and I'd be like, okay, how many doors did I knock? How many doors did I get a pitch off? How many doors did I not only get a pitch off, but get like a walk around? How many doors would I get to a close? And how many doors would I get a failed credit or pass credit? Like I would just track, like I think there was like another metric outside of that, and then obviously the sale, right? And I would learn over time that my best days were when I knocked the least amount of doors and also had the least amount of, there was another metric. I'm blanking out on it right now, but it was, whenever I had a bad day, it was because I knocked a lot of doors and got a lot of pitches off. And when I didn't knock as much doors and didn't get as much pitches off, I sold more. And to me, what that loose data communicated was, one, there was either a problem with how I was approaching, or there was a problem with my process prior to the close. Because I didn't really have high, like, getting to closes. Like, it was a lot of door approaches or a lot of doors knocked, but maybe not a lot of door approaches as well. Which, another aspect to that is also prospecting. Because there is a sort of first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter thing I had going on with the knocking suit, or it's like, hey, first quarter is those early doors, which to be honest, a majority of us do not knock until like end of summer when it's competition season. So quarter one, most door-to-door salesmen are already losing. And then you get into quarter two, which is when most people are kind of really hitting the doors. The average door-to-door dude is hitting the doors. I mean, you're burning a lot of doors simply by not prospecting well, to the point to where a door that would have been a really good lead if you waited for another car or two to be in the driveway to make sure that both, as many parties as possible were available to hear that pitch and not shoot it down or have to do a callback. God forbid you do a callback. In general, just don't do callbacks. Like, just anyway, I'm not going to get salesy here. Point being, I have experience with that industry, and now I can apply those skill sets in an industry that I care about. And I used to do this, and I still kind of do whenever I need to get a quick buck, just kind of hit up certain people that I know will pay for a session. But now I really have to develop a model, a way of tracking, a way of managing, to where I can build a consistent enough clientele that are paying to where I'm living a sustainable income. And what's a good goal to live off my mixing and mastering? Honestly, I'm going to say $4K a month. Now, what does $4K a month look like with my current prices? Because on my engineers, I want to say it's like $250 for mixing and mastering, which I'm also going to have to look at this, right? So if it's $250 per mix, and then like I think it's $50 per master, how many mixes would I have to sell? Well, if I was going to do $4K a month, I would have to sell, we're going to do 4,000 divided by 250. I'd have to mix 16 records a month. Okay. And then at 50, how many records would I have to master? I'd have to master 80 records a month. Now, I could 16 divided by 4, I would have to mix about 4 songs a week if I want to do 4K a month. And then for 80, I would have to mix about like 20, so that would be like 20 per week. And then songs, that'd be about 4 per week. And this is obviously not including like edits said back and forth, but the idea would be I'd be on a workload of completing said mixes, a week. So already, I would want to be able to have 16 records, which that doesn't necessarily mean 16 clients, by the way. It could be one client that does all these records, in theory, right? But, which I should also put indie labels on here, by the way. So yeah, 4K a month, $250 per mix, 16 records a month, 4 per week, $50 per master, 80 records a month, 20 per week. I really want to avoid from session time or like studio time. One, because studio time is relatively premium, just because like we're doing all the work in there and you're paying for our services in the talent in studio. But even more so, very rarely is it fun to create with people. I feel like a lot of people right now that are in the creative industry, or at least in artistry at large, are not artists. They just want to, I don't even know what they're thinking, to be honest. I just feel like they just want to make a quick buck or use it to gain popularity or, fulfill a dream that they've always had, but they never took it seriously. Variety of reasons I can imagine. I'm just not entertaining people that just pay for session time. Now, that being said, if you do, I'm a professional. And what that means is I have the ability to get the job done, and my whole goal is to make you feel as comfortable as possible when you're in that studio. So whatever your vibe is on, if you're a stimmer and you just stim and you say weird things, say all the weird things you want to, I might even indulge in them with you, depending. But if I'm being transparent and honest, it's not something I live for. It's not something I look forward to unless the creative is dope. Like if you're like a Montel, and you're the one booking the session, nigga, I'm ecstatic. You know what I mean? If you're like a Vel that's booking the session, I'm pretty lit. But, you know, yeah, outside of that, just like, I don't even know. But, nevertheless, professional. So, you know, I gotta figure that out. But I do think creating a lead generation model is going to be another one that's kind of on my docket, which already we kind of broke down at least what we're looking for in terms of, hey, we just need to knock down 16 clients a month for mixing, which is pretty dope in the sense that I really thought it would be more. But what that tells me, in almost by a magnitude of 10, I might have to reach out to like 160 people like a day or a week just to see if I can get to those numbers. Because with door knocking and like all that stuff, that's why this question is important. Initial thought, how many asks before a sale? How many DMs? How many like, emails? You know, just all this stuff. How many of that before a sale? And then another one, how do you track this? It's another thing. How do you track this? So, yeah. I think this will be sort of like, at least in terms of one of my main challenges, I think, which is my income level, this will help. Because from there, if I can do 4K a month, what is that over a year? That's like 48,000 over a year. And let's be real, I feel like let's say we were able to knock this out like 2 to 3 months back to back. The first thing will be getting the taxes right, getting all the LLCs right, all the paperwork right, and all the things good. Not only just for myself, but for Greenhouse and the team and the business. So there's also going to be that to keep in mind. So yeah, overall, I think that's a good, not only a week recap in the sense of, hey, I was a really bad week last week. Didn't really knock things out the way I wanted to. But this week, what's going to make it awesome is, one, we're really not going to judge ourselves heavy for this. I'm sorry, we're just not. With the music stuff, this stuff we're pretty consistent with and good on. This bottom half, we'll see what happens. Art, I'm going to consider it a win if I get one day this week where I knock this out. Background studies shouldn't be too crazy. Gaming, edit. Actually, edit. That's like the main thing with gaming content right now. And with Greenhouse, I just need to really get that pitch solid. And now, like I said previously, what's it called? I'm also, so all these VODs right here, you see how it says expiring in 0 days? So if already actually, I need to kick my hard drive before I start downloading that. But yeah, what I'm going to start doing, because this is a past broadcast, and this is like older stuff, which I just left these highlights here just to make them to reach like a goal thing. So these technically don't count. But all these other guys, what I'm going to start doing from now on, you guys hear me? From now on, once I'm done with the stream, what I'm literally going to do, it's going to be so simple, it's going to be so straightforward, it's going to be just so easy, right? All I'm going to do is take these streams and put them on to my Thania Bear Plays YouTube channel. So I'm going to have a Thania Bear YouTube channel and a Thania Bear Plays. Thania Bear Plays is going to be my backup YouTube channel that has all these VODs, so if you missed the stream and it expired and you want to watch it or go back in the catalog, you can. And my goal with this is to, one, make Thania Bear Plays kind of like the day in the life. Like, hey, this is me recording the process, this is me documenting the journey. Like, even right now when I'm talking to y'all, this is vulnerable stuff that I relatively wouldn't really tell someone. Like, I mean, I kind of would to a degree, but not in the way in which I'm trying to be as transparent with y'all. Because one, there's really nobody on stream right now, at least that I know of. I think it's just me on stream right now. So I'm virtually just talking to a camera, which a lot of YouTube is that. So I got over that a while back. But what I am saying, though, is the ability to, like, express, emote, you know what I mean? Like, talk as if there is a receiving human being on the other end that is listening, comprehending, and potentially responding to what I am saying to you. It's a skill set. It's tough. But I want to put these VODs out there to be like, hey, Thania Bear is me trying to curate and create something. And then Thania Bear Plays is like, bro, just run it. This is me. This is what it looks like. Day to day, or day-ish to day, or days to day, weeks to day, whatever that may look like, right? So, yeah, I think we're gonna commit to that this week, so we at least have a channel that's consistently uploading. And then while that channel is consistently uploading, my hope and my goal with that is that momentum, because on the Thania Bear Plays, I'm gonna like get the, you know, headboard and all that stuff done, at least to where I'll be able to then use that as then, okay, this is where everything is. And then when you go to Thania Bear, it's like, oh, this is where he curates all his content. This is where like his creativity is shown, which I'm gonna just get all the bad videos out the way this year and next year, because it just is what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be great. It's gonna be authentically made and with my best foot forward that I can. But to be honest with you, I just already perceive and know just to the nature of things. And when you learn something, the first 2 years, especially when you're doing it the way I do it, it's going to not be great. Like what I showed you here, like this is mid-ski, honestly speaking. Quite mid-ski in terms of drawing. That being said, it's actually kind of solid for me for 2 years. Because if you saw what I was doing 2 years ago, like, not impressive. Not actually, well, to me, not impressive. This was like, so, actually, even better yet. So, it's kind of funny. You'll realize that I have a little bit more of a style in this composition book. So this book right here, this is actually my first sketchbook. My first sketchbook, like that I've officially started doing stuff in and really creating in, which is kind of wild even looking back at it now that it's kind of pretty crazy now looking at it. So first of all, the first page, I did like a, what was this? Like a 5-month, 6-month kind of like thing, which is, okay, month 1, gesture studies, perspective basics, anatomy of head, gesture figures, drawing scene, 30-minute poses, body construction, portrait studies, sculpt the face, anatomy, gestures, color theory basics. I mean, just a lot of different stuff. Anatomy, learn how to draw feet, color theory, environment studies, character design basics, animal drawing, figure drawing, color your drawings. I haven't even really got to month 6 or month 5 even, really. Technically even month 4, but I kind of know some general color basics, but really value studies. But like, yeah, this guy was like the first drawing that I kind of made, just off of just, you know, perception of what I thought a human body would look like, which I'm a little bit further in my understanding of at least some of that. Like, what's a good page to kind of show some growth here? So, like, you know, this is some color there. So, you know, some shapes and some things. And I'm showing all this to show just progress, right? Because some of this is referencing me copying stuff. Some gesture drawings. You can look at the forms. They're not too believable per se, but, you know, you kind of get the idea of what I was looking at reference. Neck hella deformed, but whatever. You know what I mean? You may understand some of these references. I'm referencing some things here. Once again, you know, just doodles. Nothing particularly impressive here. Let's see. When did I make the first kind of impressive thing in here? Because I know there's... What was this? Fender. Anyway, let's see. Okay, these were some fun studies I had where I took, like, looking at a person and try to kind of characterize them a little bit. So, you know, I'm learning. I'm kind of figuring things out. I'm getting a feel. And you're also going to notice, too, I have certain faces and perspectives that come more naturally to me, which is like that 3/4 of a face perspective is one I like to do a lot. Let's see. That's another. And then some animation studies right here, like studying like an animation curve of speed. Kind of like, you know, what's an ease in, what's an ease out kind of thing to show speed of something. Yeah, and just trying my best, you know, to understand the head, turning the head. There's a lot going on here. Fat. Well, this was a good one. Perspective study. Just really trying to understand what it looks like for a shape to go back in 1 point perspective. I mean, there's a lot of really interesting drawings in here. I tried recreating the Warriors poster. Horribly so. Horribly so, mind you. Yeah, you know, just trying to figure it out. So this is like the first sketchbook. And you know what's funny? This is the first sketchbook, and this is like a year or two ago. And these drawings that I'm about to show you, these are even years prior to this. Like, this is Doodle Natty. This is just me just drawing what I feel and think and not really knowing any real structure. So this is one. Right here. So this is like probably high school Natty right here. And this is another high school Natty. Right here. So yeah, all that to, you know, stuff like, you know, this, which I've already shown you guys this earlier today, but even, we'll show the LeBron Glaze one, right? Like stuff like this. That's where I'm trying to get used to doing character sheets of like, okay, how can I show somebody like a character that like they can get into? Which this is another one that I did recently that I was a big fan of. It's even this, like you can start seeing how I'm like understanding the human face more and just where the cheeks are, like the bones are. You know, trying to get perspective, character. You know, I'm trying to inject character into the, you know, into my drawings, if you will. That's another one that I was kind of a big fan of, like his face. Very supple, seems like a chill guy. What else? Another one too. Similar action, but just different perspective, you know? Just to train my eye to think 3D. Then it's another cool one. Once again, just getting used to the body and being able to draw. Like you can really see like in these drawings, I'm coming to more of an understanding of the figure of the person and just where to place the body, or at least the anatomy per se. Still getting, you know, used to it. Legs are a very tricky thing for me, but I figured it out. I mean, look at these girl poses too, by the way. Just trying to get character, like how the hands are, where they rest, and what angle they're at. That's huge. And then another one, I did a character design a while back. Let's see if I can find it. Because I was a really big fan of it. Yeah, this one, Donnie Darko. It's a character I made, Donnie Darko. Have no idea what his premise is outside of the fact that he has an ability to... He honestly has the ability to sort of maneuver his limbs, it looks like. Like, it seems like he's in water. Like, he might be in a pond of some sort. And he can... It's not that he's disconnected his arms, but it's almost as if he can create portals. You know? Still trying to figure out his power, to be honest with you. I just know that whenever I drew him, I just like this idea of, like, his hands, like, instead of when he does this, his hand disappears in front of you. So it's like, let's say this happens, right? So, like, you initially see a punch, but then you just kind of, like, see these sort of spinny dimension thingies. And then his hand comes from the side of you and he punches you on the side instead. So it's like here, but then you get boomed as opposed to boomed. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Donnie Darko. Cool character concept. Needless to say, your boy's drawing 2 years of work. It's not horrible, but I've also had experience prior in just attempting and doing things, which I think my main point in bringing all that up was it just takes time to figure shit out. And with posting these videos onto the YouTube, or at least these VODs, my goal is to they're going to be hours of footage, so I don't think anybody's just going to just go through all of it. I mean, I would hope so, but even if not, even if I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours of footage, just streams, and just things that I do, to me, it's the narrative of it all. It's like, hey, I'm not this like, out of lack of a better person to think of like a Party Next Door or Frank Ocean, where it's like I disappear and you're like, oh, what's this nigga doing? Like, oh my gosh, so mysterious. That's not me. That's just not me. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm like, hey, you ask me something, I'll probably tell it to you. It's just I also don't like explaining what I'm doing. So my hope in doing this is, one, you're going to capture me being very, very leisurely and just enjoying life, i.e. gaming, because gaming is kind of like my sweet, safe space. And so for me to share that with y'all, kind of weird for me, but alas, that's a thing I want to do and do actively. So you're going to get that. The Let's Plays are the more controlled, more creative expression of that, while the stuff that you guys are going to see here, like the VODs of whatever games I play and whenever I play them, which, to be fair, you're also going to get all the lagging and all the audio that's off time and everything. You're going to get that. Sucks to suck. It just is what it is. Until, like, my setup gets better and it gets more grown. Just more polished. And hopefully I'm able to make these financial leaps in my career. Then things are going to get better. But if you do want to help, my goal is to also have, like, a website and all that stuff ready for me. So that way I can just market myself better and do all those things. So yeah, just a lot on the table. Also, too, I don't think, did I add the manual? Okay, I did. Okay. But yeah, so my goal, at least by the end of this week, is to have the Thania Bear Plays YouTube channel updated with these videos, these VODs, at least from this past week. And I'll have, like, the dates, too, so that way, like, we know what's up. And if anything, I need to write the date on here, because I don't upload the date of. So we're going to start with loops and more loops with I'm Jack. And then from there, we'll just kind of go from there. Which this stream will show up after this guy, because this was the last stream I did, which was on the 12th, and today's the 16th. So this week recap will definitely go on there. And I'm really just going to try to stream every day so that there's something to do. But to be honest, even if I don't, whenever I do stream, my goal will be to not have the same stream back to back unless it's a music production stream. Because, one, as you guys can see, the stuff that does the most, it's either whenever I'm hanging out with the Brody, or, as you can see, like, for whatever reason, this loop didn't do great. My only thought is because we weren't actually connected to Ethernet, so there may have been some issues with audio and sound. Actually, there was audio with audio and sound, because at some point, I forgot to turn back on the screen, so I could already see. This one is going to have technical issues, but I'm still going to post it because I am. It's just better to be transparent. But yeah, as you can see, week recap are pretty dope. But whenever I do production streams, like whenever I create stuff, it does well. And another thing too with the production streams, I think I have the DAW audio way too low, and you hear my typing and my breathing and like the air in the room more than the actual like recording. So I'll do better. We're gonna do better. We're gonna improve. So bear with the kid on that. But yeah, that's gonna be one of the goals too with gaming, to get this on the Thania Bear Plays, and then the Thania Bear channel is purely going to be the content that I curate and create that's awesome. And on the Greenhouse YouTube channel, whenever that gets around, is where I want to put some of the core stuff, or at least the educational stuff. Which, to be honest, that might just end up being content on the Thania Bear page, and then I'll just advertise the Greenhouse, course through there. Actually, now that I'm talking about it out loud, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Instead of just, because like the Greenhouse YouTube, I don't want that to be a very, I just want that to be like dope content. And right now I can't think of what that dope content would be outside of like spec commercials and or, music videos and audios of artists that we sign that are managed or under us for whatever reason, which we don't really want to do that. We just want to publish brands and IPs. That being said, if we are going to publish them, part of them being in our catalog and sharing them is putting them out for the people to listen to in a very, uniform manner. So, I don't know. I'll cross to that bridge when I get there. I don't think that's important right now. I don't think that there's much that's going to do at the moment. I do think creating a lead generation model, though, for mixing and mastering clientele is going to be huge for me, because if I can create a pipeline of more mixing and mastering that I can handle, then I can start really just dishing that out to other mixing engineers and start hiring them under the company. And just some cool shit I can do with that. So right now I want to use engineers as the main platform for what I do with that, though, because it's just so efficient for kind of what I would want to do with a studio setup. So nevertheless, yeah, I think that's the general gist of everything, honestly. So, in lieu of all that, I appreciate y'all for joining with me on this stream. It has been an amazing, dope, fun, cathartic stream to just get all that off my chest and share it with you all. And as you can see on the screen, actually right here, that's my follower goal for Twitch. Kind of been stuck at 19 for about a week now. Let's change that. If you see this video and you're not following me on Twitch, please follow me on Twitch so we can break the 30 followers goal. And once we break that, we can go right into the next goal, which is having more than 5 people in chat at the same time. Which I have a good feeling if we break the 30 followers goal, we're probably going to hit that as well. Also, too, I just acquired a Marvel Strike Force sponsorship. So there's going to be a sponsored stream at some point, which I got to figure out the gifting sub situation because I got to get some assets added onto the stream whenever I do that stream. So we got a branded stream coming to y'all within the next 16 days. And yeah, I hope that's going to help push us a bit more. But if not, I mean, hey, we're going to work it. But yeah, I got the emails like, hey, you got a potential sponsorship on the table for Marvel Strike Force. So, you know, we're going to do with that what we will. I know I could spend like $1 to $50 on it and I can get reimbursed, but I'm going to look over the document first. But yeah, we got a little sponsorship stream that we're going to try and really take advantage of. And if we can knock it out, it's like $900 that we can make out of that. Not too bad if you ask me. So y'all will see something about that pretty soon. And yeah, this song you're hearing right now is the one I'm focusing on tracking the vocals to. But yeah, as I'm realizing now with the Shure and all that, it's not the mic. It's not the mic I want for what I sound like. So I know my homie Vel is gonna be getting that mic, but to be honest, I feel like I feel too much of a burden whenever I ask to use anything of his. So another goal of mine is to, when we hit those goals with the mixing and mastering clientele, reinvesting a good portion of that into getting that mic just for me, not for anyone else, but for me. Because normally whenever I get a mic, it's like, oh, everyone gets to use it, and I enjoy that about myself. But also too, I need things for me. I don't do things for me enough. I do things for others way more than I do for me. That's something that I think I'd really be proud of myself if I can just have it to where I can get the best vocal I know I can possibly make straight out of my room, you know what I mean? I did it before and I can do it again. So yeah, that's another goal for sure. But yeah, that's really all I kind of really have on the docket for today. There's no gaming that I'm going to do on stream, at least. After this, I might do some Marvel Rivals ranked, because, you know, I'm a masochist like that. But yeah, that'll be on stream another time this week. Right now, I got a bunch of other goals that y'all see I got to get to. And I feel a lot better now to go tackle them because, one, I was able to kind of get to what was eating me alive, which was a couple things. It's just not being merciful with myself, if you will. But now we're just back into the flow of things. A little bit later than usual, but better late than never, right? So it's been your boy Natty, aka Fanya Bear, aka that nigga. It has been a beautiful time with y'all on this stream / video / whatever. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.